Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Movie Bosses Edition 5 Battle-Hardened Formidable Foes event and basically see how we can beat this event. Now this one has 3 bosses, each with 2 phases. The first boss is Gamma 2, who will have 100 million health in phase 1, 2.8 million super and a million in terms of normals. His chance of critting will go up at each turn passed, and he can nullify super attack ceiling. Gamma 2 has a second phase with 120 million health, 1.2 million supers, 1.2 million normals, 3.4 million supers, and has attack of 25% up with each turn passed, and defense up of 25% as well. His damage reduction rate will also go up with each Ki Blast super that he receives. So, overall, to be honest with you, Gamma 2 is challenging in quite a few ways. But I think if you bring attack lowering and you can stun the first phase, you tend to have a much easier time. You'll notice that with the team we're using, this is one of our high priorities, and it's one of the reasons why I like Uncontrollable Power. We have the stunning capabilities of the 2 Int LR Super Saiyan Broly's. We have the Int Buhan with his greatly lowering attack and defense. We also have the really strong active skill ability, and we have some good scaling instant damage units as well. Int Chinemba is a great flexi unit, Tech Broly is a great tanking unit, the Int Broly's do a great job, the Int Buhan does a great job, and then we have the Tech Cell for a little bit of healing. So Gamma 2 can be pretty challenging, but I think as a warm-up or as a first phase fight, he's not too bad. One of the things that I'll mention is that you can take these bosses out fairly quickly. 100 million health is not a lot. 120 million is not a lot in terms of like bosses nowadays, where bosses are 1.4 billion and 800 million and all these sort of things. So it's not impossible for you to have a good time in just kind of clearing the bosses out super duper quickly. And I think because of that, you can be relatively secure with your team. We also have Tech Beerus as well, who is a very solid, albeit obviously variable tank. And I think for the most part, the team and everything about it works to a very high, very good level. Then we have the next phase against Gamma 1. So Gamma 1 also has 2 phases. You have your first phase against Gamma 1, where he's got 100 million health, 1 million normals, 2.8 million supers, attack and defense up with each attack received, and damage reduction rate up with each attack passed. Turn passed. Gamma 1 also has a second phase, 200 million health, 1.2 million normals, 3.6 million supers, and he nullifies super attack ceiling effects. Grants immunity to being stunned, has attack up with each attack received, has attack of 30% up after receiving an unarmed super attack, and damage reduction rate of plus 1% with each attack received. You'll notice how Gamma 1 was kind of gaining advantages off of Ki Blast supers, and how Gamma 2 was gaining advantages of Ki Blast based supers, and Gamma 1 is getting advantages off of unarmed supers. So it is a very difficult situation in that sense to kind of balance your team, because each boss is benefiting off a different type of super. So for me, I wouldn't worry too much about the type of super. It does make a difference, but if you're doing enough damage, it won't be a problem, because the gains are incremental, 2%, 1%. They'll matter if you don't kill the bosses fairly quickly, if you start to, kind of take too much damage and things, but generally speaking, you should be fine. Now, Gamma 1, 3.6 mil in terms of his supers. Nothing else really too much with him. You can attack lower him, which is great. He is the tankiest fight, actually. So he has the highest damage reduction, the highest defense, and he has the highest health pool of 200 million. So he might take a little bit longer than the other bosses in the stage. So after him, we have Cell Max. Cell Max is very interesting. So first phase Cell Max has 100 million HP, 1 million normals, 3 million in super. His attack is 10% with each turn passed, and his defense is 10% with each attack received. So that's fine. generally speaking, you get through him so quickly that it's not honestly that big a deal. It's his second phase where things get very interesting. So his second phase is 150 million HP, not a lot again, 1.5 million normals, but he does a 4.2 million AoE. Obviously, this is going to cause you some problems. His defense also goes up with each attack received, his attack goes up with each turn passed, his defense goes up with each tech type attack received. His defense goes down with each tech type attack received. So the big challenge with Cell Max is that he essentially can do a very, very destructive AoE. For me, overall, like looking at the units and everything, I would personally say, all in all, that because of his low health pool and because of the functionality of the team and everything, I personally think that everything works fairly well here. I think you can take him out before he really ramps up. Maybe you got to use an item to kind of circumvent the one AoE super attack you might take, but generally, unless you're going for no item runs, you shouldn't have a real problem here, because his health pool is just not high enough. So because his health pool is just not high enough, he just cannot really deal with huge levels of damage. And what I like about the Uncontrollable Power team, especially with Buhan, is you have quite a bit of instant damage. You have that kind of like 54 million, 30 million, 40 million kind of crit range, multiple supers, and this really tends to shred most bosses. And so layering one item on top of these units, you're going to be fine. Plus you get the attack lowering from Buhan as well. So for me, obviously it depends if you're going no item, item run, or whatever you want to do. But basically for me, really the functionality comes down to, like very straightforward actually, relying on Buhan, having Buhan do a lot of the good work, and just really having a good time. So for me, this team worked pretty well. I do think obviously the Broly's active skill kind of actually counteracts you a little bit against Cell Max, but the negation is still pretty worth it. So I think overall it was a fairly good, fun little event where I had a really solid time. And honestly, that's pretty much it from me. So let me know what you guys think. If you need any help, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care and bye.